Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So today we are going to start the previous year question series of the geography. Now in this we are going to cover all of the concepts of the physical geography as well as the Indian geography. Now the questions that we are going to solve are taken from the civil services examination from the year 1993. It includes all the questions that have been asked in the state PSC examination, and then it also includes the question which are taken from the CDES and CAPF respectively. Now all of the questions, and if you do this series, all of the concepts regarding geography, physical geography as well as Indian geography and world geography will be absolutely clear. So let us start with our first chapter, that is the solar system, universe, latitude and longitudes. So let's move to the question straight away. Now the first question is, in the northern hemisphere, the longest day of the year normally occurs in the. Now, this all concept is related to the period of solstice. Now, solstice are of two type. One is the summer solstice and the other one is winter solstice. Now, what happens in the summer solstice is that the sun rays directly fall on the Tropic of Cancer. It means that there is day in the northern hemisphere and warmer condition in the northern hemisphere, whereas there are colder conditions as pertaining in the southern hemisphere. Now this summer solstice happens around 21 June. Okay. Now on the other hand, what happens in the winter solstice is that the sun rays falls on the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay. So there is colder condition in the northern hemisphere and there is warmer condition in the southern hemisphere. Now this winter solstice happens on 21 December. Okay. Other than this solstice, there are two other equinoxes. Now one equinox is known as the vernal equinox, in which there is equal amount of rays falling directly on the center, and this is around March 20. And there is autumn equinox which happens on September 22. Okay, now this question is asking about in the northern hemisphere the longest day of the year normally occurs. Now when will the longest day occur? When the sun rays are directly falling on the Tropic of Cancer. And it is related, this statement is asking about what? It is asking about the summer solstice. So when does the summer solstice occur? It occurs on 21st of June. So the options are first half of the month of June, second half of the month of June. So obviously na 21 June is second half. 15th June के बाद तो second half start हो जाएगा. That is why second half of the month of June is appropriate and absolutely the correct answer to this question. I hope you have understand all the concepts. So 1 ka B is absolutely correct. Now this question was asked in the UPSC CSC prelims examination of 2022. Let's now move to the next question. Now this question is based on the deflection, the reflective laws. Now the high clouds primarily reflect solar radiation and cool the surface of the earth. Okay, now if we talk about the clouds, so these clouds are related to the heating and cooling. Other than heating and cooling, which depends on the clouds, other things also matter, such as clouds altitude, the size of the cloud, then the particles of which the clouds are made. Now the clouds are made up of dust particles, a hygroscopic nuclei that is formed around the dust particles, and then the droplets are formed through the process of condensation. This is the way in which the clouds are formed. Now, the first statement is high clouds reflect the solar radiation. No, the high clouds do not reflect the solar radiation, but the solar radiation affected by the low thick clouds. And these low thick clouds deflect the solar radiation and it helps in the cooling the surface of the earth. So the first statement is incorrect. Next statement is low clouds have a high absorption of infrared radiation emanating from the earth's surface and thus causing the warming effect. Now we know that this infrared emissions, these are there in the ionosphere of the layers of the atmosphere. Now ionosphere is considerably very high. Okay, सबसे ग्राउंड पे तो आपका ट्रोपोस्फेयर होता है, ट्रोपोस्फेयर के ऊपर आपका स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर है, देन थर्मोस्फेयर है, सॉरी मेसोस्फेयर है, एंड देन देयर इज थर्मोस्फेयर और आइनोस्फेयर. नाउ इतनी हाइट पे क्या लो क्लाउड्स हो सकते हैं? क्या नहीं होंगे ना, हाई क्लाउड्स होंगे. So this is the high clouds that are responsible for the absorption of the infrared radiations. Okay, so if the question is asking about the correct statement here, none of the given here is correct. Okay, neither one is correct, not two is correct. Reverse statement the low clouds is related to the surface cooling of the surface, whereas high clouds is related to the infrared radiation. So neither one nor two is the correct answer to this question. Let's now move to the next question. Now, what is the difference between the asteroid and the comet? Now, if I tell you before solving this question about asteroid and comet, so these asteroids are also known as the minor planets. Why minor planets? Because these are made up of rocks. Okay. And these were formed with the formation of solar system around 4.5 billion years ago. Okay. Now, these comets are snowballs, cosmic snowballs. These are made up of gas, these are made up of rock, this is made up of sun, and these comets have a tail on its end. Now, these comets are also found all around the universe. But if I talk about the asteroids, these are found between two planets, that is between Mars and Jupiter. So between Mars and Jupiter, these asteroids are formed. So this is the basic information. Let us see basic information. See, ये question हमारा solve हो पाता है या नहीं. Now, asteroids are small rocky planetoids, while comets are formed of the frozen gases held together by rocky and metallic minerals. Absolutely correct. अभी देखा हमने ये. Asteroids are found mostly between the orbit of Jupiter and Mars. Absolutely correct. While comets are found mostly between Venus and Mercury. Now, second statement हमारा false हो गया यहाँ पे. क्यों false हो गया? Because comets are found all around the universe. ठीक है. So the second statement is incorrect यहाँ पे. ठीक है. First statement we know is correct. तो obviously answer इसका 1 and 3 ही होगा. But let us see the explanation of the third one as well. Comets show a perceptible glowing tail while asteroids do not. अभी मैंने बताया comets have a tail, they have a long tail at their last. So third statement हमारा सही है. Correct answer हमारा 1 and 3 होगा इसका. So I hope you have understood this. ठीक है. Let's now move to the next question. Now, in order of their distance from the sun, which of the following planets lie between Mars and Uranus? Now, we know that we have 8 planets starting Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. Mars के बाद कौन सा planet आता है? Jupiter आता है, then is Saturn, then is Uranus and then is Neptune. Now, Mars and Uranus के बीच में कौन से दो planets हैं? This is Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter and Saturn. B is the absolutely correct answer to this question. Let's now move to the next question. Now, who of the following scientists proved that the star with the mass less than 1.44 times the mass of the sun end up as white dwarfs when they die? Now, if I talk about the name of the scientist, so the correct answer to this question is S. Chandrasekhar. Now, S. Chandrasekhar was an Indian-born scientist and he was famous for coming up with the theory that explains the डेथ ऑफ यूनिवर्स स्टार्स. जो भी स्टार्स होते हैं ना यूनिवर्स में, उसके डेथ के रिगार्डिंग द थ्योरी वाज गिवन बाय एस चंद्रशेखर. नाउ दिस वाज he also gave a theory of the Chandrasekhar limit that you will know. I know. Now Chandrasekhar showed that it is impossible for a white dwarf star which is supported solely by the gas of electrons to be stable at a mass if it is greater than 1.44 times the mass of the sun. Okay, so this theory was given by S. Chandrasekhar. So B is the correct answer to this question. Let's now move to the next question. Now the albedo of an object. Now albedo का मैं मतलब बता देता हूँ. The power to reflect something. ठीक है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आपने ब्लैक पहना है तो वो उसमें रिफ्लेक्शन नहीं होता है. क्यों नहीं होता है? क्योंकि द ब्लैक कलर इज नोन टू एब्जॉर्ब. ठीक है. just like a black hole. Whereas if I tell about white, so white के आपको पता है white में बहुत ज़्यादा reflection होता है. तो what does it means regarding white and black with respect to the albedo? इसका मतलब ये the white light has the highest albedo, मतलब कि highest reflecting power. So this is the concept that is related to albedo. Now the albedo of an object determines its visual brightness when viewed with a reflected light. Yes, absolutely correct. Now the albedo of Mercury is much greater than the albedo of the Earth. Okay. Now albedo मैंने क्या बताया आपको? It is the power of reflection. Now Mercury is the closest planet to the sun and it has a very low albedo. Why it has a very low albedo? Because it is mainly composed of the dark rocks. So dark का मतलब क्या होता है? Anything that is related to black or brown के सेंस में उसका रिफ्लेक्शन होता है. सो ब्लैक वी नो इज नोन फॉर एब्जॉर्प्शन नॉट रिफ्लेक्शन. तो एल्बीडो जो है दैट इज नॉट देयर ऑफ मरकरी का एल्बीडो नहीं होता है. ठीक है. नो अर्थ द एल्बीडो ऑफ द अर्थ is much higher than Mercury. Because why? Because the earth has clouds, the earth has oceans, the earth has ice. Ice का क्या कलर होता है? Ice का कलर white होता है. White is known for reflection. Then the earth has vegetation. Earth is not a merely planet that is made up of rock. The earth constitutes life. That is why various colors are found here. So obviously the albedo of the earth is higher than that of the albedo of Mercury. That is why the second statement here is incorrect. Only the first statement, that is the first statement that is given here, is correct. Now albedo का concept is very important. एंड हाईएस्ट एल्बिडो ऑफ द अर्थ की अगर मैं बात करूं तो वो आइस कैप्स जो होते हैं अर्थ पे उनका हाईएस्ट एल्बिडो होता है. वाई? बिकॉज दे आर वाइट इन कलर, सो दे रिफ्लेक्ट मोर. ठीक है. ए इज द करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन. लेट्स नाउ मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. नाउ टू ऑर्बिट अराउंड द सन द प्लैनेट मार्स टेक लेस टाइम देन द टाइम दैट इज टेकन बाय द अर्थ. ठीक है. Next is the diameter of planet Mars is less than that of the Earth. Now we know that the planets move around the Earth in an elliptical orbit. ठीक है. अभी यहाँ पे मरकरी है, ये सन है मान लो, तो इधर मरकरी है, इधर वीनस है, इधर अर्थ है और ये मार्स है. तो आप मुझे बताओ अर्थ को तो इतना टाइम लग रहा है मूव करने में एंड मार्स को कितना इलेप्टिकल ऑर्बिट में कितना ज्यादा इसको मूव करना पड़ रहा है. तो क्या दिस इज लॉजिकल दैट मार्स विल टेक लेस टाइम देन व्हाट इज टेकन बाय अर्थ? नो ना, मार्स विल टेक मोर टाइम क्योंकि इट इज मोर फार्दर फ्रॉम द सन. ये भी एक लॉजिक है. मार्स इज मोर फॉरवर्ड, मोर फार्दर देन द सन. सबसे कम टाइम किसको लगेगा? फिर मरकरी को लगेगा. सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज एब्सोल्युटली इनकरेक्ट. तो आंसर तो हमारा यहीं से आ गया कि असर्शन इज फॉल्स बट द रीजन इज ट्रू. अब रीजन देख लेते हैं क्या है. रीजन यहाँ पे दिया है द डायमीटर ऑफ द प्लैनेट मार्स इज लेस देन दैट ऑफ द अर्थ. एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट है. नाउ द डायमीटर ऑफ द प्लैनेट का क्या रोल होता है? सो द डायमीटर अफेक्ट्स द सरफेस, इट इफेक्ट्स द ग्रेविटी. जितना ज्यादा डायमीटर होगा ग्रेविटी उस हिसाब से इफेक्ट होगी. देन व्हाट हैपेंस इज रोटेशन स्पीड. more the gravity is there, more the diameter of the planet is there, higher the lower the rotation power will be. ठीक है. now thinner atmosphere होता है. so ए हमारे यहाँ पे false है, R is true है कि diameter of planet mass is less than that of the earth. so D is going to be the correct answer to this question. Let's now move to the next question. ये again question assertion reason का है and it has been asked in the UPSC CSC prelims examination. Now the existence of human life on Venus is highly improbable. बिल्कुल करेक्ट है. Why it is improbable? Because at Venus there are extreme conditions. Because there are high level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Now carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. What does a greenhouse gas means? The greenhouse gas traps the heat. It traps the heat and अगर heat ज़्यादा होगी तो temperature rise करेगा. Why it is known as greenhouse effect and why it is known as the global warming? अब greenhouse gas और global warming में क्या difference है? Now greenhouse gas is not greenhouse gas is not a negative thing because it helps to maintain the temperature of the earth. So an ideal amount of greenhouse effect is necessary. It is necessary for maintaining the temperature it is necessary for the plants to grow. But अगर ये CO2 की क्वांटिटी ज़्यादा होगी एटमॉस्फेयर में तो ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट विल बी मोर. अगर ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट ज़्यादा है तो हीट विल बी ट्रैप्ड मोर, and when heat will be trapped more it will lead to the rise in temperature, and when the temperature, the general temperature will rise, it is known as global warming. So that is why this greenhouse gases, it is not at all a negative phenomenon. It is a positive phenomenon, but excess of anything is bad. Excess of greenhouse gas, it means that excess of CO2 is there. Excess of CO2 मतलब ज़्यादा गैस ट्रैप होगी, हीट ट्रैप होगी, ज़्यादा हीट मतलब ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर मतलब ग्लोबल वार्मिंग. ठीक है. एंड ग्लोबल वार्मिंग से देयर इज Kyoto Protocol is related. ठीक है. So Kyoto Protocol is related with the global warming, that you also need to know. ठीक है. So Venus में तो life improbable है. Now Venus has extremely high temperature of carbon dioxide in its atmosphere. Yes, the carbon dioxide in Earth is comparatively less to that of the Venus, and the assertion that is given here is directly corresponding to the reason here. So both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay, A is going to be the correct answer to this question. Let's now move to the next question. Now, consider the axis of the Earth's magnetic field is inclined at a 23.5 degree to the geographical axis of the world. Now, the Earth's magnetic pole in the northeast hemisphere is located on a peninsula in northern Canada, and the Earth's magnetic equator passes through Thumba in South India. Now, चलो इस क्वेश्चन को देखते हैं. अब, if you have seen and I have told you the Earth में, अब इसमें से हमें क्या बताना है? We have to mention the correct statement. Now, the Earth's magnetic field is not inclined at 23.5 degree. This is the axial tilt of the Earth, but around 11 degree inclination होता है. ठीक है. So यहाँ से we have come to this point that this is absolutely incorrect. तो 1 यहाँ पे incorrect हो गया. Now, the second statement is absolutely true that the Earth's magnetic pole in the northern hemisphere is located on a peninsula in northern Canada near the Ellesmere Island. Now, Ellesmere Island, you have to remember that it is in Canada and it is where the Earth's magnetic pole is believed to be there. ठीक है. Now, Earth's magnetic equator passes through the Thumba in south. Thumba is in Thiruvananthapuram, and there is a rocket launching station in Thiruvananthapuram as well. This is the reason because orbit में जाने में easy होता है. ठीक है. 2 and 3 here is absolutely correct. Let's now move to the next question. These are just factual question. आपको ये ध्यान में रखना है कि अर्थ का मैग्नेटिक पोल नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर का, इट इज लोकेटेड इन कनाडा, एंड मैग्नेटिक इक्वेटर पासेस थ्रू थुम्बा इन साउथ इंडिया. ठीक है. लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, दैट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 10. द सेम फेस ऑफ द मून ऑलवेज फेसेस द अर्थ. यस, लॉजिकल बात है कि सेम फेस जो होगा मून का वो ऑलवेज फेस द अर्थ, क्योंकि मून भी तो अपने एक्सिस पे रोटेट कर रहा है ना. मून भी उसी एक्सिस में ऑर्बिट में रोटेट कर रहा है जिसमें अर्थ रोटेट कर रहा है. तो जब भी मून राइट शिफ्ट होगा अर्थ भी राइट होगा, जब मून लेफ्ट शिफ्ट होगा तो अर्थ भी लेफ्ट शिफ्ट होगा. तो सेम फेस ऑफ द मून विल ऑलवेज फेस द अर्थ. नाउ सेकंड देखते हैं. द मून कंप्लीट्स वन रोटेशन in its own axis in 23.5 days, which is about the same time that the earth take to orbit. ठीक है. नाउ सबसे पहला तो मून को एक रोटेशन कंप्लीट करने में 23.5 डे नहीं लगते हैं, बट इट टेक्स 27.3 डेज. ठीक है. सो दिस इज नॉट what that is related to earth, because earth in general takes around 29 to 30 days. ठीक है. तो रीजन हमारा इनकरेक्ट है यहाँ पे. assertion is absolutely correct. ठीक है. C is going to be the correct answer to this question. Let's now move to question number 11. Consider the following statement. Moving from one place on the earth to another place of the high latitude, the weight of an object decreases. Next है हमारा, the earth is not a perfect sphere. Choose yes, the earth is not a perfect sphere. Now this reason is absolutely correct. Why? क्योंकि अर्थ को स्फीयर नहीं बोला गया है. The shape of earth is described as geoid shaped, and this is given in the NCERT. Spherical नहीं बोला जाता है. Geoid का मतलब ही होता है अर्थ लाइक शेप्ड. ठीक है. So it is not a perfect sphere. तो रीजन तो हमारा करेक्ट है. ठीक है. Next is moving from one place to another place of high latitude, the weight of an object decreases. Now, the weight of an object, it depends upon the gravitational force of the earth. Okay, and this gravity varies with the distance from the center of the earth. Now, moving from a one place, कोई person A place से B place तक गया, ठीक है. It means that this person is closer and it is nearer to poles. Pole के near है. Therefore, the weight of an object increases when a person goes from equator to pole. जैसे equator है and distance पे हमारा pole है. When a person moves from one place to another with on a high latitude change हो रहा है, the weight of a person on a equator is less, and whenever the person moves from equator to pole, his weight increases. ठीक है. So assertion यहाँ पे wrong है क्योंकि weight of an object decrease नहीं करेगा, it would tend to increase. ठीक है. And reason is absolutely correct. So D is going to be the correct answer to this question. Let's now move to the next question. Now, among the following, which planet take maximum time for one revolution to complete one revolution around the sun? अभी डिस्टेंस के हिसाब से देख लो, मैंने बताया था मर्क्यूरी, वीनस, अर्थ, मार्स, जुपिटर. तो कौन सा है यहाँ पे? वीनस के बाद अर्थ आता है, अर्थ के बाद मार्स, जुपिटर है. तो ऑब्वियसली जुपिटर विल टेक मोर टाइम, मैक्सिमम टाइम फॉर रिवॉल्यूशन. ठीक है, क्योंकि डिस्टेंस ज़्यादा है जुपिटर की. सो बी इज गोइंग टू बी द करेक्ट आंसर. लेट्स नाउ मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. With reference to the following statement is correct with reference to our solar system. Which of the following statement is correct with regard to our solar system? The earth is the densest of all the planets in our solar system. Next is the predominant element in the composition of earth is silicon. No, it is not silicon, but earth की अगर composition की मैं बात करूं तो iron makes up of 35% of the earth, which is followed by oxygen, that is constituted about 30%, and then comes the silicon, which is around 15%. So ये statement तुम्हारा गलत है. Now the sun contains 75% of the mass of the solar system. No, not 75%, but around 99% of the mass of the solar system is contained by the sun. ठीक है, so this one is also incorrect. The diameter of the sun is 190 times that of the sun. It is not 190 but 109 times of the sun of the earth. ठीक है, जो डायमीटर है सन का that is 109 times of the sun, जिसका मतलब ये है कि the diameter of the earth is around 12,742 kilometer and 109 times would lie मतलब 1.3 मिलियन किलोमीटर के अराउंड होगा इसका. ठीक है, तो it is 109 times not 190 times. Then the earth is densest, इसका मतलब बिल्कुल absolutely correct है. तो ये पॉइंट आपको याद रखना है कि the earth is the densest of all the planet in the solar system. A is going to be the correct answer to this question. Let's now move to the next question, that is question number 40. Sun's halo is produced by the refraction of light. ठीक है, which type of clouds are there? तो वहां पे ice crystalline cirrus clouds होते हैं. Now let me give you some of the explanation regarding this question. Now sun की जो halo होती है ना, halo मतलब the light that it emits is in circular rainbow ring like structure. ठीक है, now this rainbow like structure has high clouds. Now अगर मैं ये हम clouds के चैप्टर में ज़्यादा डिटेल में बात करेंगे. If I talk about the clouds, so सबसे नीचे के जो clouds होते हैं ना, that is stratus. उसके ऊपर होते हैं nimbus. Then comes the cumulus, and then are the cirrus. Cirrus are the most highest cloud. तो सन के हेलो में highest clouds होते हैं. तो stratus तो यहाँ पे हम straight eliminate कर सकते हैं. Cumulus is also at the second level. Cirrus has the highest clouds. एंड यही क्लाउड जो होते हैं वो अर्थ के हेलो में होता है. ठीक है, सो ये एक लॉजिक है जहां से आप कर सकते हो. आपको बस ये ध्यान रखना है कि सन के हेलो में देयर आर हाई क्लाउड्स एंड वी शुड नो दैट सिरस आर द हाईएस्ट क्लाउड दैट आर फॉर्म्ड इन द अर्थ. ठीक है, दैट इज व्हाई सी इज गोइंग टू बी द करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन. Let's now move to the next question, that is question number 15. Assertion and reason का question है. Now this question is, artificial satellite are always launched from the earth in the eastward direction. अब यहाँ पे ना ऐसे क्वेश्चंस में आपको ये ध्यान रखना है एक्सट्रीम वर्ड्स के लिए. ऑलवेज है यहाँ पे. ऑलवेज मतलब जब ही भी वो लॉन्च किए जाएंगे वो ईस्टवर्ड में किए जाएंगे. ठीक है. तो जो एक्सट्रीम स्टेटमेंट होते हैं ना एग्जाम्स में वो मोस्टली गलत होते हैं. दिस इज अ जनरल ट्रेंड. The reason is Earth rotate from west to east and so the satellite attains this escape velocity. तो ये स्टेटमेंट तो बिल्कुल सही है हमारा, that Earth rotates from west to east. Now generally आर्टिफिशियल सैटेलाइट ईस्ट डायरेक्शन में लॉन्च किए जाते हैं. वाई? बिकॉज अर्थ उस डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहा है और अगर हम सैटेलाइट को भी ईस्टवर्ड लॉन्च करेंगे तो इट वुड हेल्प द सैटेलाइट अटेन मोर स्पीड. ओके. नाउ इससे क्या होता है? सेव फ्यूल. फ्यूल भी सेव होता है. बट दीज आर नॉट डन ऑलवेज. वाई? बिकॉज इन द केस ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशनल सैटेलाइट्स, observational satellite, that the satellite that determine that helps to image the earth, temperature check करना meteorological purposes से या polar observation के लिए जो satellites होती है ना, that are mostly launched in the northward और साउथवर्ड डायरेक्शन. अब इसका क्या कंसेप्ट है? जैसे ये मान लो अर्थ है, ठीक है. अर्थ रोटेट्स फ्रॉम वेस्ट टू ईस्ट. अगर पोलर सैटेलाइट्स को या इमेजिंग सैटेलाइट्स को आप ईस्ट डायरेक्शन में करोगे तो वो तो ऐसे ही ऐसे घूमते रहेगी. बट इन द केस ऑफ पोलर सैटेलाइट्स, डिस्पाइट ऑफ अर्थ मूविंग फ्रॉम वेस्ट टू ईस्ट, दीज आर लॉन्च इन नॉर्थवर्ड और साउथवर्ड डायरेक्शन. अभी नॉर्थ में लॉन्च होगी तो ये ऐसे मूव करेगी, ऐसे मूव करेगी तो होल ऑफ द अर्थ विल बी अप्रोप्रिएटली इमेज्ड. ठीक है. एंड दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई नॉट ऑल ऑफ द सैटेलाइट्स आर लॉन्च्ड इन द ईस्टवर्ड डायरेक्शन. ठीक है. ये इसका कंसेप्ट है. सो आज के क्वेश्चंस को यहीं तक रखते हैं. आई होप कि ये सीरीज आपको अच्छी लगी होगी. हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू द चैनल. सो टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट द पार्ट सेकंड of the first chapter of the geography through PYQ series. एंड ये सारे के सारे PYQs होने वाले हैं यूपीएससी के डिफरेंट एग्जामिनेशन एंड स्टेट पीएससी के ऑल ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस वी आर टेकिंग हियर. ओके. अगर आपने फर्स्ट पार्ट नहीं देखा है तो फर्स्ट पार्ट का जो लिंक है दैट आई विल गिव इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ दिस वीडियो. सो लेट अस स्टार्ट विद द क्वेश्चन नंबर 16. Now which of the following planet is the farthest planet of the solar system? Now this question was asked in the year 2002. But 2002 के टाइम पे ये क्वेश्चन का करेक्ट आंसर होता समटाइम नेपच्यून और समटाइम प्लूटो. बट आज की डेट में नेपच्यून वुड बी द करेक्ट आंसर. व्हाई? बिकॉज इन द ईयर 2006 प्लूटो was excluded from the list of the planet of the solar system and it was designated the position of a dwarf planet. ठीक है. So 2006 में the farthest planet became Neptune and not Pluto. ठीक है. तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर आज के डेट में would be Neptune. Now let us move to the next question. If the stars are seen to rise perpendicular to the horizon by the observer, he is located on the. Now होराइजन के परपेंडिकुलर अगर कोई प्लेस होती है अर्थ पे तो वो इक्वेटर होती है. ठीक है. नाउ इक्वेटर के अलावा अगर मैं पोल्स की बात करूं तो पोल्स के अराउंड स्टार सर्कल करते हैं. ठीक है. एंड एनी अदर रीजन मे इट बी ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर और ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैप्रिकन, तो सर्टेन एंगल इज मेड एंड एंगल कैन बी एनीथिंग बट परपेंडिकुलर इट मीन्स 90 डिग्री. सो जो परपेंडिकुलर to the horizon is always equator. So A is the correct answer to this question. Let's now move to the next question. ये question है हमारा, which of the following scholars has suggested that the earth originated from the gases and the dust particle? Now this theory was evolved by Otto Schmidt. ठीक है. Now this theory is known as the interstellar dust hypothesis. Now, this theory was propounded in the year 1943. Now, according to the proposed theory, the sun gravitational attraction initially, जो sun का gravitation था, that initially drew gases and dust particles all around from the universe to a single place. Now, over this time, these particles consolidated and formed the core of the planets. Now, which eventually these particles, the dust particles and all these gases, these became asteroids and then planets. So this was the basic idea behind the origin of the earth. This is one of the story that one of the theory that was given by Otto Schmidt. ठीक है, so D is the correct answer to this question. Next देखते हैं, this is question number 20. Now one astronomical unit is an average distance between, so this is an average distance between earth and sun. ठीक है, and it is approximately believed to be 150 million kilometer or 8 light minutes. Now this light minutes is a theory to measure the distance. Also there is another unit which is known as parsec. Now parsec is also used to measure distance. ठीक है, ये भी आप ध्यान में रखेंगे. तो one astronomical unit average is a distance between the earth and the sun. Okay, A is the correct answer. Let's now move to the next question. Now consider the following statement regarding asteroids. Now asteroids are rocky debris of various sizes orbiting the sun. Absolutely correct statement है. Most of the asteroids are small but some have diameter as large as the 1000 kilometer. ये भी हो सकता है, obviously हो सकता है. Now the orbit of asteroid lies between the orbit of Jupiter and Saturn. देखिए, अगर आपने फर्स्ट पार्ट नहीं देखा है तो you will not get to know, but I have explained the difference between an asteroid and a comet. And there मैंने बताया था कि asteroids are there between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter, not Saturn. तो थर्ड स्टेटमेंट हमारा गलत है. वी कैन एलिमिनेट द थर्ड स्टेटमेंट स्ट्रेट अवे एंड 1 and 2 हमारा करेक्ट आंसर हो जाएगा. ठीक है, लेट्स नाउ मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. विच अमंग द फॉलोइंग इज द नियरेस्ट टू द अर्थ? नाउ द सन इज अ नियरेस्ट स्टार ऑफ द अर्थ. ठीक है, एंड इट इज सिचुएटेड अराउंड 8.5 light minutes away. Now, if I talk about the options here, what is Polaris? Polaris is also a star which is located around 433 light years away from the Earth. And this Polaris is also known as the northern star. If I talk about the Alpha Centauri is 4.37 light years away from the Earth. ठीक है. And Sirius, what is Sirius? Sirius is a binary system. Now, correct answer हमारा sun होगा. Sun is the nearest star to the earth. Next question देखते हैं. Which one of the following condition is most relevant for the presence of life on Mars? So, क्या Mars पे atmospheric condition है? नहीं है. Thermal conditions है? नहीं है. But occurrence of ice cap and frozen water? Yes. This is one of the feature that is there in Mars which is believed कि Mars पे life हो सकती है. तो C is the most appropriate answer to this question. Why? Because liquid or water is essential for life. ठीक है, ये एटमोसफेयर हो गया, ओजोन हो गया, ये these all can be made by scientists. ठीक है, to some extent or other. But water, liquid water is needed for life and that forms the basic unit of life. That is why C is the correct answer. Let's now move to the next question. The group of small pieces of rock revolving around the sun between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. Just right now I told you these are known as asteroids. ठीक है. Now next देखते हैं. Now largest अगर asteroid की मैं बात करूँ so this is Ceres and this is classified as a dwarf planet. ठीक है. Let's now move to the next question. Now, the tail of a comet is directed away from the sun. Why is this? What is the reason? As the comet rotates around the sun, the lighter mass of the comet is pushed away due to the centrifugal force. No, this is not correct. As comet rotates, the lighter mass of the comet is attracted by some star situated in the direction of its tail. No. The direction emitted by the sun exerts radial pressure on the comet, throwing its tail away from the sun. Away की बात बोल रहा है ना, तो the C statement will be true. ठीक है. Why? Because the tail of a comet is constituted of dust and gas. Now, ये dust and gas is released by the nucleus of a comet and when this is released by the nucleus of a comet and sun heat, तो सोलर रेडिएशन का प्रेशर पड़ता है, ठीक है, एंड देन व्हेन सोलर रेडिएशन और सोलर विंड का प्रेशर पड़ता है तो सो द टेल इज थ्रोन अवे, ठीक है। सो सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं। नाउ if the earth's direction of rotation is reversed, what should be the Indian standard time when it is known at the international dateline? Now as we know that the earth rotates from west to east, so the international dateline is 6 hours 30 minutes ahead of the Indian standard time. So when there is 5 hours 30 minutes, so when there is 12 p.m. at the international dateline, then Indian standard time के according क्या होगा, 5:30 a.m. होगा। Now if the earth start rotating from east to west, then what will happen? Then क्या होगा, अगर 12 p.m. का टाइम है, then the time would get reversed, and time reverse होगा 12 p.m. से it would be 6:30 at night, at evening. So 6:30 is the correct answer, ठीक है। आई होप कि आपको ये कंसेप्ट समझ आ गया होगा। लेट्स नाउ मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। नाउ व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज ट्रू? कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट। अ पर्सन in spacecraft situated at the mid of earth and sun will see the sky is black. Absolutely correct statement. The stars do not twinkle. And the next statement is the temperature outside the spacecraft is more than that of the earth's surface. ठीक है, so बिल्कुल फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है। थर्ड स्टेटमेंट इज नॉट करेक्ट। व्हाई इट इज नॉट करेक्ट? बिकॉज ये ज़रूरी नहीं है कि टेम्परेचर बाहर का टेम्परेचर इज मोर देन दैट ऑफ द अर्थ सरफेस, ठीक है, बिकॉज इट डिपेंड्स ऑन सेवरल फैक्टर्स सच एज डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम द सन, ऑल्सो इट the thing on which it depends is angle of incidence of the sunlight. sunlight कहाँ पड़ रही है, कौन से एंगल पे it is getting, what is the, if there is any shielding or insulation present, so this depends on various of the factors. so third हम straight away eliminate कर सकते हैं, वहाँ से भी हम 1 and 2 correct answer बता सकते हैं, ठीक है। B is the correct answer. Let's now move to the next question. What is a meteor? So meteor is a piece of matter which has entered the earth atmosphere from the outer space. B is the correct answer. And meteor कौन से layer of the atmosphere पे बन करते हैं? So this layer is called known as mesosphere. ठीक है, and it is the coldest layer. This you also need to know. ठीक है, so what are these meteor? So meteor, these are the lumps of rocks, or these are the lumps of iron that orbit around the sun, ठीक है। So B हमारा correct answer है। Let's now move to the next question. Now the standard time of the following countries is ahead or behind the Greenwich Mean Time depending on whether they are east or west of the longitude that passing through Greenwich. अब इस क्वेश्चन में क्या बोल रहा है, या तो ये मान लो इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड टाइम है, तो जो भी प्लेसेस ईस्ट ऑफ द इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड टाइम होगी, ग्रीनविच मीन टाइम होगी, वहाँ पे आवर्स विल बी गेन्ड, उस टाइम के आगे होगा, एंड विच एवर सिटीज और कंट्रीज लाइड इन द वेस्ट, उनमें से हम आवर्स को सब्सट्रैक्ट करेंगे। नाउ विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सीक्वेंशियल ऑर्डर गिव्स द करेक्ट अरेंजमेंट ऑफ द कंट्रीज अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर स्टैंडर्ड टाइम अहेड to behind GMT? Now if I talk now, this Greenwich Mean Time, this is located in Greenwich, that is London. Now if we see here the options, सबसे पहले तो हम यहाँ पे ये देखेंगे कि जापान सबसे ज़्यादा हमें ईस्ट में पड़ रहा है, तो यहाँ का जो टाइम होगा इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा एडिशन होगा। एंड इफ वी सी द प्लेस दैट इज नियरेस्ट टू दैट ऑफ लंदन, वो हमें यूरोप का ग्रीस नजर आएगा, ठीक है। सो हमें कैसे अरेंज करना है इसको? वी हैव टू अरेंज दिस इन अ वे कि अहेड टू बिहाइंड। So we know that 5 is going to be the most ahead क्योंकि जापान lies in the Pacific Ocean, बिल्कुल ही इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन में है, एंड लंदन इज हेयर, एंड लंदन के जस्ट पास ग्रीस होगा, एंड लीस्ट कौन सा होगा? लीस्ट तो ग्रीस होना चाहिए उस हिसाब से, ग्रीस भी हो सकता है, बट यहाँ पे हमें ये पता है कि लॉन्गेस्ट या मोस्ट अहेड ऑफ द टाइम जापान होगा. सो दैट इज वाई ए हमें डायरेक्टली आंसर आ गया. वी नॉट नीड टू नो अबाउट वेरियस थिंग्स हियर. ओके, सिर्फ हमें ये पता है कि फारदेस्ट सबसे ज़्यादा एडिशन टाइम में कहाँ होगा? जापान में होगा. दैट इज वाई A is the correct answer. So these are some of the tricks through which you can solve these types of questions. Next is the color of the star indicates its temperature. Basic question है, ठीक है. I hope कि ये आपको आता होगा सबको. Next is a plane starts flying from 30° north latitude and 50° eastern longitude and lands at the opposite end of the earth where it will land. Now this is type of very vague type of a question and इसका कैलकुलेशन तो मुझे भी नहीं पता है, तो इसका सही आंसर मैं बता देता हूँ आपको. If you know this calculation exactly, and this is not an important question, so if you know this question you can just describe its description में आप बता सकते हो कि आप इसको कैसे कैलकुलेट करोगे. इसका करेक्ट आंसर 30° सदर्न लैटिट्यूड एंड 130° वेस्टर्न लॉन्गिट्यूड है, ठीक है. नाउ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज व्हेन इट इज नून along the 82° 30 minutes east longitude, along what degree of longitude it will be around 6:30 am. Now we can find it by a simple formula. Now we know that the earth completes its full rotation, that is 360° in 24 hours. Now which means that 15° कितने देर में मूवमेंट होगा? 1 hour में होगा. Now consequently if 15 degrees west of 82° and 30 minutes east will be 1 hour behind the time, while a location that is 15° east of this longitude will be ahead of its time. Now given that there is 6:30 am in the 5 hour, given that 6:30 am is 5 hours and 30 minutes behind the 12 noon, so we can calculate this time difference that is corresponding to this 82° and 30 minutes east of longitude, where the place is 6:30 am का time है is located 82° at 30 minutes west of 82° 30 minutes east. So this is equivalent to 0° east or west longitude, which is primarily on the prime meridian. ठीक है. So C is going to be the correct answer to this question. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. ये भी थोड़ा टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन था. आई होप कि यू हैव अंडरस्टूड. अगर समझ में नहीं आया है तो यू कैन जस्ट रिवर्स दिस वीडियो एंड वॉच दिस. अगर फिर भी समझ में नहीं आया है तो कमेंट सेक्शन में आप कमेंट करना. आई विल टेल यू ईजिली कि कैसे इसको कर सकते हैं. Which of the following is not an astronomical object? Now a brittle star is not an astronomical object because it is a marine animal. ठीक है. Other than that, pulsars, black hole, quasar, all of these are related to astronomical objects. So brittle star हमारा एक marine animal है and it is not an astronomical object. Next देखते हैं. Now next question है, the solar eclipse achieves totality in limited geographical regions because the size of the shadow of the moon on the earth is small as compared to the cross section of the earth. अब मुझे ये बताओ eclipse is related to what? जब मून आ जाता है सन एंड अर्थ के बीच में. सो ये पॉसिबल एक्सप्लेनेशन है. बाकी ऑप्शन देखो. द अर्थ इज़ नॉट अ स्मूथ सरफेस, बिल्कुल नहीं. द ट्रैजेक्टरीज ऑफ अर्थ अराउंड द सन एंड मून आर नॉट इन परफेक्ट सर्कल्स, एब्सोल्युटली नॉट. क्रॉस सेक्शन अर्थ का स्मॉलर है, दैट इज़ वाई तो है कि एक्लिप्स होगा. ए इज़ द करेक्ट आंसर. लेट्स नाउ मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Consider one special point at the earth at the surface. Examples: Delhi, its temperature at noon is 12 o'clock, will be higher in summer in comparison to winter because Why? Because Earth is inclined at 23 degree, 23.5 degree. ठीक है, tilted होता है Earth. That is why in winter the Earth axis becomes more inclined toward the sun, and that is the reason why the city Delhi, its temperature at noon will be higher in summer in comparison to winter, because the Earth is tilted. B is the logical explanation here. Let's now move to the next question. What is a black hole? So a black hole is a collapsed star. ठीक है, D is the correct answer. And अब जो हम questions पढ़ रहे हैं, these are all have been asked in the UPPSC prelims examination of 2019 में ये question पूछा गया है. ठीक है, next देखते हैं. Now we have to set this chronological order in which the species have arrived. सबसे पहले तो first reptile, first insect, shelled animals, first mammals. Now if we see here, सबसे पहले तो shelled animals आए, then first insects आए, then reptiles came such as dinosaur, and then हमारे mammals आए. So 3, 2, 1 and 4 is the most logical explanation. अब मैं अगर इसके आपको timeline बनाऊँ तो around 500 million years ago the shelled animals came, and the tenure which is related to is Cambrian period. Then first insect came around 410 million year ago. If I talk about first reptile, they came around 320 million ago, and Carboniferous period में ये आए थे. Next, if we talk about is first mammals, they came in around 230 million year ago. C हमारा correct answer होगा इस question का. Now, next is question number 38. Which of the following pair is not properly matched? The largest planet of the solar system is Jupiter, correct. Smallest planet, Venus. Brightest planet, Venus. And the slowest moving planet, Mars. No. The slowest moving planet of the solar system is Neptune. Mars नहीं है. So, D हमारे यहाँ पे not properly matched pair होगा. Next है question number 39. The blue moon phenomenon occurs when the two full moon occur in the same month. Now this is a popular definition of the blue moon, that जब भी two full moons एक similar month में होंगे, then it is phenomenon is known as the blue moon phenomenon. ठीक है, so A is the correct answer. Next देखते हैं. The solar energy is due to, so this is very popular and very easy question. Solar की energy की होती है, it is due to a nuclear fusion. Fusion मतलब कि two elements, these combine to each other to form energy. This is fusion, and fission is when one single atom separates, इनका separation forms energy. This is known as fission. So the solar energy is obtained by nuclear fusion. B is the correct answer. Next is, when any object is taken from Earth to Moon, what happens? Its weight decreases. सिंपल सी बात है, कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट अगर अर्थ से मून लेके जाया जाएगा तो उसका वेट डिक्रीज हो जाएगा. ठीक है, बी इज़ द करेक्ट आंसर. इन क्वेश्चंस में एक्सप्लेनेशन की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है ज़्यादा, बस ये आपके रिवीजन के लिए है ताकि कोई भी एस्पेक्ट आपका छूटे ना जो प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस में पूछा गया है. नेक्स्ट इज, ऑन द सर्फेस ऑफ द मून टू पर्सन कैन नॉट लिसन ईच अदर. वाई? बिकॉज देयर इज़ नो एटमोसफेयर ना, एटमोसफेयर नहीं होता है मून पे, दैट इज़ वाई पीपल कैन नॉट हियर. बी इज़ द करेक्ट आंसर. नेक्स्ट इज, a black hole is an astronomical entity that cannot be seen by a telescope. बिल्कुल करेक्ट है. The gravitational field on a black hole is so strong that it does not even allow even light to escape. बिल्कुल सही बात है. Assertion भी correct है, reason भी correct है, and reason correctly explain the assertion here. A is the correct answer. Next, which of the following planets take the least time to orbit the sun? So it is the Mercury, क्योंकि the Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. So सबसे कम टाइम तो Mercury ही लेगा ना. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. द मिल्की वे गैलेक्सी इज क्लासिफाइड एज अ स्पाइरल गैलेक्सी. ठीक है, वाई स्पाइरल गैलेक्सी? बिकॉज इट हैज़ अ फ्लैटेंड डिस्क शेप. ठीक है, ए इज द करेक्ट आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विच one of the following longitude along with the prime meridian forms the great circle on the globe. Now this is the 0 degree longitude that forms the great circle. ठीक है? Oh sorry, not 0 degree. Yes, 0 degree होना चाहिए इसका. नहीं, 0 भी फॉर्म करता है द प्राइम मेरिडियन एट 0 डिग्री एंड 180 डिग्री लॉन्गिट्यूड. दीज टुगेदर फॉर्म द ग्रेट सर्कल. ठीक है, सो आंसर दोनों होना चाहिए मेरे ख्याल से तो. बट इफ अ वैल्यू इज गिवन हियर तो 180 डिग्री ही होगा. ठीक है, डी ही करेक्ट आंसर, इसको आप मार्क करना. डी करेक्ट है. नेक्स्ट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 47. The limit beyond which star suffers an internal collapse, it is known as the Chandrasekhar limit. Now, Chandrasekhar limit is defined as the maximum mass that a white dwarf star can have before it collapses under its own gravity. ठीक है. Now, Chandrasekhar limit is around 1.4 times the mass of the sun. Okay, now if I talk about the other options as well, Eddington limit is related to the luminosity of the star. Hoyle's limit is related to the minimum mass that a star needs to have in order to ignite nuclear fusion to produce energy. Fowler limit is the maximum mass that a star can have before it becomes unstable and violent. ठीक है, ये सारे ऑप्शंस भी आप कहीं नोट कर लेना. इसका करेक्ट आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी द चंद्रशेखर लिमिट. नेक्स्ट इज अ बॉल थ्रोन आउटसाइड फ्रॉम द आर्टिफिशियल सैटेलाइट रिवॉल्विंग अराउंड द अर्थ विल revolve around the earth in the same orbit with the same time period as the satellite. ठीक है, डी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. नेक्स्ट देखते हैं. Which is true about the planets? The planets are non-luminous bodies and they don't shine. बिल्कुल सही है. No, this is not correct. The planets shine though they are non-luminous bodies. Absolutely correct है. Why? Because the planet do not produce their light of its own, but they reflect the light from the other sun or the stars. ठीक है, so B is going to be the correct answer. Next देखते हैं. The solar eclipse occurs on? It occurs on a new moon day. It can only occur on a new moon day. Now, a solar eclipse is when the moon passes between the earth and the sun and it blocks all of the sun's light from reaching the earth. It can only happen on a new moon day. So क्वेश्चन 50 तक हमने सक्सेसफुली कवर कर लिया है. सो इस वीडियो को यहीं तक रखते हैं. आई होप कि आपको ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी होगी. अगर ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी तो डू गिव दिस वीडियो अ लाइक एंड कमेंट करके बताना कि आपको ये वीडियो कैसी लगी. ठीक है, टिल देन कीप स्टडिंग एंड थैंक यू. हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू द चैनल. सो टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट द थर्ड एंड द फाइनल पार्ट ऑफ द चैप्टर नंबर 1, दैट इज द लैटिट्यूड, लॉन्गिट्यूड, सोलर सिस्टम एंड द यूनिवर्स. Now today we are starting with the questions of the CDS examination. Already 2 parts have been uploaded and this is going to be the final parts and we are going to complete all the questions after this video. Let us start with the question number 51. Question number 1 to 50 has already been covered in the 2 parts, the link of which is given in the description of this video. So the first one is, which of the following group of planet is termed as gas planet as they are composed primarily of lighter ice, liquid and gases. So there are 2 types of planets. Some of them are gas planet and some of them are rocky planets. So if I talk about these rocky planets, so the inner planets of the solar system, that is the Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, these are the internal planets. Whereas if I talk about the outer planets, so these constitute all the gas planets that are termed as Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune and Saturn. Okay, why it is they are the gas planet? Because they do not have a solid surface. Okay, so B is the correct answer. Let's now move to the next question. ozone layer which absorbs the ultraviolet radiation is found in which of the following layers of the atmosphere? So it is a very important question. So before telling the answer of this question, you should know the property of ozone. Now, ozone is both useful as well as it is a harmful gas. How is it so? That ozone at the stratospheric level, it means the ozone at the level of stratosphere is beneficial for the environment as it protect the universe from the not universe but earth from the ultraviolet rays. Whereas if I talk about the harmful ozone, so this ozone is at the ground level which mixes with other pollutants to form pollution. So ozone at ground level is very harmful for the earth, whereas ozone at the stratospheric level is useful. Okay, so which of the following layer, in which of the following layer it is found? So the ozone is found in the stratosphere. So the in-depth analysis of this question we will cover in the subsequent chapter. So this you need to know primarily that ozone at the level of stratosphere, it is helpful for the environment. Now let's now move to the next question. The 4 planets closest to the earth are called, now just right now I told you the concept of the inner planets. Inner planets are also known as the terrestrial planets. There are 4 inner planets because these are rocky. Okay, and these constitute Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. And the outer planets, gas planets, abhi question humne kiya hi hai, so you can understand it from that the question we have solved above. So the correct answer is terrestrial planet, as this has been asked in the CDS 2020 examination. Let's now move to the next question. Which among the following star is the nearest to Earth? Now easy question hai. Proxima Centauri is the star that is nearest to the Earth. Now this Proxima Centauri is a red dwarf star that is located in the Alpha Centauri star system. Okay, it is approximately around 4.24 light years away. Now if I talk about the Sirius, this is a bright star constellation. So Sirius is a constellation. Okay, Arcturus is also a constellation. And if I talk about the Spica is also a constellation. So Proxima Centauri is the nearest star. D is the correct answer. Let's now move to the next question. Now which we have to match the list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answers. Now list 1 is the hypothesis and list 2 is the propounded by which of the following persons. Now this planestimal theory hypothesis, it was given by Chamberlain. Okay, Chamberlain contraction theory. Now this planestimal hypothesis suggests that the formation of the solar system occurred from the aggregation of small solid particles, and these small solid particles are known as the planestimals. Okay, next is the thermal contraction theory, which was given by Harold Jeffrey. Now this thermal theory proposed that the earth as well as the other celestial bodies are formed from the contraction and cooling of a hot initially molten mass. Next one is the geosynclinal origin theory. This theory was given by Antony Kober. Okay, this is related to Antony Kober. It postulates that the major mountain building events, which is also known as orogenics, are a result of accumulation plus subsequent compression of sedimentary rocks in the rocks that are deep down in the depression of the earth crust. Okay. Now this hypothesis of sliding continent, this was propounded by Daly. Okay. So according to this, what is going to be the correct answer? A is the appropriate answer to this question. Now this is very important, as this hypothesis theory, it can be asked in the examination. So A is going to be the correct answer. Let's now move to the next question. Which of the following statement with regard to the winter solstice is correct? Now this concept of the summer solstice and winter solstice is related to, I've already explained this in the part 1 and part 2. So which of the following is related to the winter solstice? Now the South Pole experiences the 24-hour of darkness. Now winter solstice is the time in which there is summer in the southern hemisphere. Now this South Pole is located in the southern hemisphere, so it cannot experience 24 hours of darkness. This phenomenon of 24 hours of darkness of the South Pole, it happens in the summer solstice. Now it occurs on 21st June. This is also correct because this is an explanation of summer solstice. Now the third one is North Pole experiences 24 hours of darkness. Yes, this is absolutely true because there is summer or there is light condition prevailing in the southern hemisphere. Now next is, which one of the following statement concerning the atmosphere of the earth are correct? Now in stratosphere the temperature increases with altitude. Next is in mesosphere the temperature decreases with altitude. Next is the lowest temperature of the atmosphere is recorded on the upper part of the mesosphere, and tropopause is a isothermal zone. Now there are two layers in the atmosphere in which the temperature rises with the rise in altitude. Now these two layers are, one is stratosphere and the other one is thermosphere. Generally there is a tendency that whenever we go to increasing heights, the temperature will decrease. But in the case of stratosphere and thermosphere, the temperature tends to increase with the increase in altitude. And also I've told you few questions back that mesosphere is the coldest air. Lowest temperature is recorded in the mesosphere. So 1 and 3 is possibly true. Mesosphere temperature decreases with altitude. This is also correct because only two of these are exceptions, that is stratosphere and thermosphere. So 1, 2, 3 is absolutely correct. Now tropopause is an isothermal zone. What is an isothermal zone? First of all, let us know what is troposphere. So this troposphere is the boundary between the troposphere and stratosphere. Now in this region temperature remains constant even with the increasing altitude, which leads to the isothermal zone. So this is absolutely correct. Okay? So all of the given statement here are absolutely correct. So D is going to be the correct answer. So the next is, which of the following statements are not correct? Now the position of the sun, earth and moon in straight line of 180-degree angle is known as syzygy. Next is syzygy conjunction causes solar eclipse. Next is syzygy opposition causes lunar eclipse. Next one is syzygy conjunction occurs at the time of perihelion only. Now if we talk about this question, this syzygy means the position at which the sun, earth and moon is in a straight line. So this statement is absolutely correct. We have to mention the not correct statement here. Now it causes solar eclipse, it causes lunar eclipse, but the point given here is that syzygy conjunction occurs at a time of perihelion only. Now this is absolutely incorrect. Why? Because it can occur any time. Now perihelion condition is then when the sun is closest to earth. Okay, when the sun is closest to earth. So D is the not correct statement here. Next is, which of the following statement is or are correct? The earth is nearest to the sun at perihelion, which generally occurs on the 3rd January. Absolutely correct. Next one is, the earth is farthest away from the sun at the perihelion, which occurs on 4th July. Now the earth is farthest away from the sun not at perihelion but aphelion. Now at perihelion the earth is nearest to the sun, that is why second statement is not correct. We have to mention the correct statement here, we are going to eliminate the second statement. Now 1 is correct. Let us see the third correct statement. The earth is farthest from the sun at aphelion, which generally occurs on 4th July. So this statement is absolutely correct. Now the earth is nearest to the sun at aphelion, which generally occurs on 3rd January. This one is incorrect. Now what points you should remember? That earth is nearest to sun at perihelion, which occurs on 3rd Jan. Next one is the earth is farthest away from the sun at aphelion, which occurs on 4th July. So these are the two statements that you need to know. 1 and 3 is absolutely correct. Which one of the following statement about the atmosphere is correct? Next, the statements here are: the atmosphere has definite upper limits but gradually then thins until it's become imperceptible. So this statement is not correct. The atmosphere has no definite upper limits but gradually thins until it becomes imperceptible. Yes, the second statement is absolutely correct. So B is going to be the correct answer. Okay. Next statement देखते हैं. You have to examine these two statements carefully. Select the answers from these items using the codes given below. Sidereal day is shorter than the solar day. The motion of the earth in its orbit around the sun is termed as revolution. Now, if we talk about this question, so this statement is absolutely correct. Now, if I call what is a sidereal day, so a sidereal day is a time that is taken, that the time that it takes for the earth to complete one rotation on its axis relative to the stars, which is approximately around 23 hours 56 minutes and 4 seconds. Okay, now the rotation of the earth, you need to know it causes day and night. And if I talk about the revolution, this revolution causes change of season. So both the statements here are absolutely true, but the second statement does not correctly explain the first statement. It is not related to first statement. So D is going to be the correct answer. Next is the earth without rotational movement would result in. Now I already told you the rotation of the earth is related to the day and night phenomenon. So let us see which of these are related. Now option third देखो आप, only one season लिखा है. Now seasons are responsible and it relies on the revolutions of the earth, not the rotation. So third हमने eliminate कर दिया यहाँ से. Day and night cycle, it is absolutely true. तो second तो हमेशा correct होगा ही होगा. So यहाँ से we can straight away derive our answer, that is the answer is 1 and 2. Okay, let's now move to the next question. Now this question is based on the solstice. We have to match options यहाँ पे नहीं है, so directly मैं answer बताऊँगा आपको. This summer solstice, winter solstice, vernal and autumn equinox I have explained in the part first और second. ठीक है, तो आपने अगर वो पार्ट्स नहीं देखे हैं तो फर्स्ट आप वो पार्ट्स देख लो, उसमें सारा एक्सप्लेनेशन प्रोवाइडेड है. Now if I talk about the summer solstice, it happens on 21st June. Winter solstice, this happens on 22nd December. Vernal equinox, it happens on 21st March. And if I talk about the autumn equinox, it happens on 23rd September. So this is the proper arrangement of this. You can just write it down. So let's now move to the next question. Which of the following statement regarding the duration of the day and night is correct? Now, the difference is least near the equator and progressively increases away it. Now, what this statement is trying to explain is, now the duration of, if I talk about the duration of day and night, so it is completely dependent on the tilt of the earth. The tilt is tilt of the earth and the rotation of the earth. Now if I talk about equator, so at equator what happens is that the equator is located at 0 degree latitude. Now the difference between day and night duration is relatively small throughout the year, because the equator receives nearly equal amount of sunlight. Okay, so this is absolutely correct. Now, as we move from the equator towards the pole, this duration tends to increase. So if we talk about the correct answer, the correct statement that is explaining this, so A is the correct answer. I hope you have understood this. Now let me start the next question. Now this question is related to lapse rate. Just a second, just give me 5 to 6 seconds. Now this question is, which of the following statements is different to normal lapse rate? Now first of all, you need to know what is the lapse rate. Now this normal lapse rate is the rate at which the temperature decreases with increasing altitude in the troposphere. Now this phenomenon of lapse rate is related to the troposphere, how fast the temperature declines with the rise of the altitude. Now if I talk about the normal lapse rate, it is around 6.5 degree per kilometer. Now this means that for every kilometer we go up the altitude, the temperature will decrease by 6.5%. Okay, so let us see. Temperature is highest at the ground level and it decreases with the increase in altitude. So absolutely this one is the correct option. So A is the correct answer to this question. Let's now move to the next question. Which of the following geologic time periods is associated with the first appearance of marsupials? Now the marsupials, firstly, these occurred in the lower Cretaceous period. Okay, let's now move to the next question. Now in order to find out the absolute location on the map, which of the following will be required? Now to find the exact coordinates, both longitude as well as latitude is required. So if I tell you about the latitude and the longitude, latitude is a measure of a place distance north and south of the equator. Okay, while longitude is a measure of a place distance from east to west. So east to west is measured by longitude and north to south it is measured by the latitude. So this is the perfect configuration for this. So the correct answer to this question will be both latitude and longitude. Okay, C is the correct answer. Let's now move to the next question, that is 69. Now, which of the following represents the inner planet? Now, planet between the Earth and the belt of the asteroid, the 4 planets which I already told you about: Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. Okay, these all are the inner planets. So B is the correct answer. Next is, if the equatorial plane of the Earth is not inclined to its orbit, then now the inclination of the Earth is related to the sunlight, the amount of sunlight that impacts. Now the Earth tilt, it obviously causes the season, because season is directly related to how much sunlight is there or is affecting the different hemispheres. So obviously where the sunlight is more, summer season will be there, and where the sunlight is less, there will be winter season. So no change of seasons would be there if the equatorial plane of the Earth is not inclined to its orbit. Now, which one of the following processes is not a part of long wave radiation? Now, the correct answer is scattering, because the scattering is a process by which the particles or molecules of the atmosphere, they redirect the incoming solar radiation in different directions. Okay, whereas if I talk about the conduction, convention and radiation, all of this plays an important role in the transfer of energy. These are the different ways by which the energy can be transferred. Okay, so scattering is not related to long wave radiation. What long wave radiation is that it primarily involves the transfer of heat energy. Okay, so this I have already told you. So B is the correct answer here. Next is, the lowest temperature is observed recorded in which of the following layers of the atmosphere? So the correct answer is mesosphere. I've already told you this. Next question. The presence of the ozone in the atmosphere is important. Why? Because I told you it absorbs the UV rays. Now this question is about which type of UV rays does the ozone absorbs. So the ozone is present in the upper layers of the atmosphere between 15 to 35 kilometer. Now it mostly absorbs the ultraviolet B radiations only. Okay. Now if I talk about the ultraviolet UVC lights, so these have the shortest wavelength. If I talk about the UVA, these have the longest wavelength. Okay, so B is the correct answer to this question. Now this is which of the following layers of atmosphere has a high concentration of ions? Now this layer ions is also related to ionosphere, and if you know that the name of ionosphere, you should know that the other name of ionosphere is also the thermosphere. Now regarding thermosphere, you need to know this point, that this layer is responsible for the solar radiation. Radioactive waves move in this layer of atmosphere. Also thermosphere is a layer in which the temperature increases with the increase of altitude. Okay, now next question is, which of the following statement relating to the solar system is or are correct? The first one is, Venus and Uranus rotate opposite to the direction of rotation of Earth. Next is, Venus is the nearest planet to the Earth. Now it is the nearest planet to the Earth. It is absolutely correct. If we talk about Earth के पहले the second number planet is Venus, and if after Earth we talk about, there is Mars. ठीक है, so the second statement is absolutely correct. If we talk about the first statement, so this is also absolutely true, that Venus and Uranus, it rotates in opposite direction to that of the Earth. Venus rotates clockwise while the Earth rotates counterclockwise. It means west to east हमारा Earth move करता है, whereas east to west Uranus and Venus move करते हैं. ठीक है, so both of the given statement here are absolutely correct. Let's now move to the next question. Now this intertropical convergence zone, a low pressure belt is located. So this ITCZ is a low pressure belt that is located at equator. Now this is an area where the northeast and the southeast trade winds converge. Okay, this ITCZ is also known as doldrums. Now this doldrums is called by the sailors that are operating in this area, because there is windless condition in this ITCZ. So this ITCZ is present at the equator. At equator, we are a point where the northeast and southeast trade winds combine. So D is the correct answer. Now India was a part of the Gondwana land supercontinent. It includes the following land masses of the present. Now the part of Gondwana land were South America, it was Africa, then it was Australia, then it was India, then there was Antarctica was also part of Gondwana land, and then Arabia was also a part of Gondwana land. So all of the given options here is absolutely correct. Next question. The Sea of Tranquility is on. So this Sea of Tranquility, this is a dark spot. It is a dark spot that is present on the northern hemisphere of the moon. Okay, so D is going to be the correct answer to this question. Next is, light year is the unit of, so it is the unit of distance. Next is the earth is nearest to the sun on, so this is a condition of perihelion, and I have already told you that the perihelion occurs on 3rd January. ठीक है, so A is going to be the correct answer. Next is 0 degree latitude and 0 degree longitude. It lies where? So it lies in the Atlantic Ocean. ठीक है. Now with this we are done with all the questions of this chapter. So in the upcoming videos we will continue the next chapter as well. Do like this video and comment section में बताना ये videos कैसी लगी. Till then keep studying and thank you for watching.